Let me ask you the last question, which is the action step. A lot of founders are listening to it. They want to apply to Expert Dojo. They want to be part of your accelerator. What is the one thing that they have to have before they make that call or before they send you the email? If they don't have this, game over. Don't even bother starting that conversation. What is that one thing for you?
So I will say, let me give a little bit of a long answer to this, because
Okay.
I want to create the context of what entrepreneurship is, and maybe shed some light on why I even mentioned about ego and all those other things as well. When any of us start a new journey of entrepreneurship, a lot of people have previously talked about the fact that we pivot or we change, and I don't believe any of us pivot. I believe what happens is this. I believe we start a company, and at the very beginning, on that first day, our company is maybe 12% complete. Maybe some people it's 7%, some people it's 13%, maybe 11 or 12%. And our job every single day is to get the company to a more complete stage. Because if you think about it, it's impossible to be more complete than 12%, because you just invented this. It didn't exist before. So it's
Right.
not like we're tracing something, we're building it from scratch. And by doing that, it means that you have to continually search. You're doing two things at the same time. Number one, you're adapting different skills at different times during this process. And the second thing is you're continually looking to try and move from 12.5 to 13 and 13 to 13.5. And that doesn't mean that you achieve stuff. Many times you fail massively. And if you learn and you listen and you adapt and you move forward, that can bring you from a 12 to a 14% complete. So that mindset of continually searching for that excellence, that elusive 70, 80% complete company, that in itself is a superhero skill that will require other people to help you on that journey. That's the first point. The second point is you don't need to be all things to all people. So we use analogies or we use descriptors when we're talking to entrepreneurs about the skills they require at different levels of the journey. So we'll say at the very first level, we want you to be a Viking, right? Now, a Viking just needs to know a couple of things, right? You don't need to be a brilliant shipbuilder, and you don't need to dress in beautiful clothes. The only thing you need to do is grab a couple of your friends, get into a boat, scare the heck out of everybody on the island that you're going over to, because they've heard stories, which is your brand, about you sharpening your teeth with a knife as you're coming across, and how you eat the hearts out of children. So by the time you arrive in that village, which you would have had to have a fight with 1,000 people, and everybody has ran away scared because they know you're coming. So the skills of outreach and the skills of brand and the skills of communication are unbelievably important when you are launching a company at the very beginning. And then what happens is you then get to a stage which is coming close to your seed round, whereby the villagers kind of know you're coming. And one of the villagers said, why don't we just like throw a big stone out in the ocean and sink their boat? Like, wouldn't that save us having to run away every single time and then have them steal from us? So you need to move from being a Viking to being a gladiator. And a gladiator has got process, it has efficiency, it has a structure that allows them to build a company, not based on you fighting all the time, but having operational prowess in place that allows you to build from a strong foundation. And that means that you're building your operation strength. It means that you're building your human resources strength. It means that you're focusing on fundraising in a way whereby you're a grown-up now. You're not just begging for money. You're showcasing what's going to be built in the future. And you're building your influence as a startup. I would argue that Expert Dojo are still in that phase of being in the gladiator phase. Ourselves, never mind our startups. You then move into the next phase. And the next phase is Knights of the Round Table. And that's that when every single person around that table has a skill set stronger than you in their area of discipline, marketing, technology, human resources, all of the disciplines that you require around that table. And then you get to the sensei stage. And the sensei stage is when you're really the guy who sits in the room in the corner and people walk by the room and they say, what does he do? Or what does she do? And they're like, oh, he's the founder of the company. Very nice guy. Say hello to him when he's going out to grab himself a cup of tea. He likes to keep company with people. Okay? So you need to follow that foundation as a company. So when you come to us as a founder, I want to see a founder that's prepared to go through those two journeys. that they're building with smarts, with emotional intelligence, not necessarily IQ. And they understand the journey, the resilience that's going to be required to build a company from that 12.5% all the way up to that 70%. And by understanding it and showing me not just that they have a great product, not just that they've got a great idea, not just that they know how to sell, but that they're able to walk on these two parallel paths and take it all the way to the very end. That's what we want to see.